Hi everybody, Christina Watkins here in Park City. It is the end of April and right on schedule. It's snowing like crazy. I like to make this lame joke that if you don't like Utah's weather, just wait 15 minutes, but it's totally true. I know that it's been a little while since our last update, and I apologize for that, but hopefully to make it up for you, I've got a special story about the history of the staircases. The staircases in Old Town, it's easy to think that it's just sort of like, a way for drunkards to get down to Main Street and, use the handrail to crawl your way back up, which is totally valid. But the reason that we have many of the staircases is because when Old Town was laid out, it was laid out on a grid system by people who had never actually been here. So not the avenues, Park Avenue, Woodside Avenue, Norfolk, not the avenues, the streets. Many of the streets are super steep and were simply too steep for the modern, well, not the modern car, but for the horseless carriage to navigate. So horses could do it, people could walk, but it was very, very difficult when cars came about for them to deal with it. So the streets eventually got torn out and replaced with staircases. Now, the story kind of fluctuates. I was told at one point that this action left some houses landlocked, but I've been poring over the maps in Old Town, and I think that's really just one of those charming old stories that is fun to believe but really doesn't hold up to scrutiny. Because every house in Old Town does have frontage on one of the avenues, or, another street. You may have to take some rickety stairs to get there, but, there is frontage on a regular street. The staircases are beautiful, though, and it is kind of cool to know a little bit more about the history. If you're ever in town, I do recommend that you stop by the Park City Museum or spend a few minutes volunteering. In June, there is the historic home walking tour. Do you see how steep it is? I'm totally out of breath. The historic home walking tour is in June and is a killer way to get into some amazing historic homes. There's a docent that stands at each doorstep and tells you the story of the house and who lived there and that kind of a thing. And it's just so charming and so important and so heartwarming, frankly, to understand what it is that makes Park City so special compared to all the other ski towns in the West. If you are in town, I hope that you'll give me a call. I would love to see you. We're coming into kind of the slow period before the spring and summer buying period picks up. So the next 2 weeks or so should be really good times to get into properties. But there is some hesitation. A lot of sellers will usually hold off on listing until we get into May, sort of the end of May, just because nothing's greened up, the pictures don't look very good, that kind of a thing. But I'd love to hear from you. Call me, text me, email me if you have any questions. And other than that, take care. Hope to see you soon.